Earlier this week, BMW gave us an exclusive early access preview to the all-new iX and i4. Unlike the i3, which was kind of quirky, and the i8, which was a range-extended hybrid, really sporty, these two fall more in line with BMW's existing lineup. Unfortunately, this was not a test drive event, so if you want to see that, you're going to have to come back in a couple of months. However, we did get plenty of time with these two new electrics from BMW, and boy, we've got a lot to talk about. First of all, just looking at these two EVs, you can immediately identify them as BMWs because of their massive kidney grills. This is something that BMW used to use for their internal combustion engine cars for air intake. However, they're repurposing that area on these mostly for their self-driving hardware. On the iX specifically, you can see it now has a completely closed off surface here. And if you get up close, you can even see little wires used to heat the area around the radar to prevent ice buildup. However, once you get beyond the kidney grills, you begin to find that these are two very different EVs. And I'm not just talking about their form factor. These are very different engineered vehicles. Let's first look at the iX. It's a compact SUV comparable in size to an X3. Just looking at the outside, it's very well proportioned. It looks very good on the road. It's got a wide stance, a short hood, and it's got these beautiful sporty wheels. Upon closer inspection, you'll find that there's at least some plastic in these wheels, but we won't fault BMW here because a lot of other brands are doing that nowadays, and honestly, these wheels just look great. However, one area where we will fault BMW was their choice to have this truly massive charge port cover. And I want to pause here for a minute. With electric vehicles, automotive manufacturers have the chance to rethink this entire refueling interface and to just kind of slap a large, almost like gas tank type door on there and have multiple inner doors. It doesn't really make sense to me. Brands like Tesla have rethought this, Porsche as well, have rethought this area where it's automated. It just opens up and there's no second door that you have to worry about. And to have this design that honestly feels a bit cumbersome, it's really disappointing, and it increases the friction when people have to charge their vehicle. And that's really where we have the opportunity to reduce friction. And so I really hope that brands like BMW rethink this experience for customers and consider integrating automatic doors that open and shut and streamline this experience. Jumping over to the i4 for a minute, you can immediately tell that this is effectively a 4 Series Grand Coupe that they decided to put the electric powertrain into. Other than that, it's got the classic blue highlights that we've seen from BMW before. It's got flush to body door handles, and it's got the slipstream wheels. On the topic of the slipstream aerodynamic wheels, we did try to actually take the aero covers off just to see how they would look without them, and found that they're actually secured from the inside. So you'll have to take the entire wheel off in order to take those aero covers off if you should choose to do that. In just about every other way though, we found that the i4 has all the traditional design elements of a BMW. It even has the old-fashioned transmission hump that reduces legroom for your rear passengers. And if you fold down the armrest, you'll actually find this old flimsy little click button cup holder that just comes straight out of the 90s. However, the interior of the iX is just something else entirely. It seems BMW took the carbon cage from the i3 and just rethought everything inside of it. Compared to the i4, this is a much more elevated interior. It's got beautiful quilted leather seats with iPad mounts in the headrests, diamond-shaped buttons and knobs everywhere, and none of those silly blue accents. It has door buttons similar to Tesla's and a smooth, expansive dash, only interrupted by two seamlessly connected screens. One note, those screens are also in the i4, but I forgot to mention them. Tap around on the center control display for a little bit, and you'll find this car has a very impressive audio system. Overhead, there's a large panoramic glass roof that should electrochromatically shift from transparent to opaque. However, unfortunately on our press unit, that wasn't quite working yet, but we have seen it working online. Down below, BMW has taken advantage of the electric powertrain with a redesigned center console. It's got an interesting place for the cup holders and your wireless phone charging, as well as this kind of interesting space where you can put your phones. But overall, you can see where BMW has really put a little bit of extra effort into redesigning the iX for a future customer. One last surprising design choice from BMW here is the complete omission of a front trunk. On the i4, for example, you can pop the front hood, but it just reveals this large plastic cover with absolutely no storage space. On the iX, on the other hand, you can't even open the front trunk, and when you want to replace the windshield wiper fluid, you just press here on the emblem. Let's talk specs. Both of these are promised to reach about 300 miles of range, with the iX coming in an all-wheel drive configuration here in the US. The i4 comes in a rear-wheel drive. However, there will be an M series version that will take the 5.7 second 0 to 60 all the way down to 3.7 in an all-wheel drive. Both will take DC fast charging of up to 200 kilowatts, so that should get you about 100 miles of range in just over 10 minutes. If you're looking to pick one of these up, you can pre-order online now. The i4 will start at about $55,000, going for about $65,000 for the M series version, and then the iX will start at about $83,000. Both should qualify for the federal $7,500 tax credit, and BMW is expecting to start deliveries in early 2022. As you can tell, these are two very different vehicles from BMW, almost like they were designed by two totally different companies. And we're curious, which one do you think they'll sell more of? The more traditionally designed i4 or the more future-focused iX? Anyways, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We should have a lot more coming for Monterey Car Week this week. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.